I'm Morgan Doremus with RT Book Reviews, and I'm joined today with Coreene Callahan, who is a new author. You debuted in February.
I did debut in February with Fury of Fire, which is the first of my Dragonfury series, so that's a lot of fun.
And you write in paranormal romance, which is one of my favorite subgenres.
Oh, lovely, yes.
I love it because, especially yours, we have dragon shifters in your series.
Yes.
Now, we're seeing them, but they're a little few and far between, so really when you got into this new series, you got to kind of create your own rules and myths around dragon shifters, right?
Absolutely, which is exactly the way I wanted it. I've been a lifelong lover of dragons, so it's sort of serendipitous that I get to write about them. But yes, I got to create everything from scratch, which was great.
Now, you know I'm going to have to ask about your heroes, because I think
yes.
out of everything in the series, they're what gets the most attention, and how could they not? They're muscle-bound, over 6 feet tall,
yes.
very imposing. Like, these are guys you don't want to mess with. And, you know, they can shift into dragons. So.
Yes, it's very entertaining. You know, there's no such thing as an ugly dragon shifter. So they're fun to write because they're extremely sexy and they exude self-confidence, which is attractive. So how can you not love that?
Well, and another thing that I really think that the reason I like them so much is there's really bonds between them. They're good guys. They can be dangerous at times, but they're good guys. And one of their loyalty towards each other, and they are fighting a war against their enemies, another shifter clan. But together they're so much stronger than they are apart. And I love the idea that they can be, bad and mean, and then they get together and they're just kind of dudes. They're just kind of, they're playing poker, and you know what I mean?
It's true. They are. They are guys. They are guys all the way. And they live in packs. So sort of like a wolf pack, but it's a dragon pack. And this creates a serious bond between them. And they love each other and they protect each other. And they have, at the root, they have a really good heart. So of course, all of that comes out in the interactions they have with one another, even though sometimes they get really upset with one another.
Well, again, they're guys, they're dudes, I mean, that happens.
Fists do fly. So, yes, they're very intense, but they're intense in almost everything they do. So they're intense in the way that they accept and support each other as well.
Now, your heroines, I love that they're so strong. A lot of times when I talk to paranormal authors, it's like, could this average normal woman fall into this shifter pack and be okay? But your women, they're already kind of conditioned to be strong and to be independent.
Yes.
So when they are introduced to their heroes, there's not such a huge gap, I guess. Even Angela, your last heroine in Fury of Ice, she is an officer. She's one of those people. She's got weapons and she goes in and she's a fighter already.
She's fierce. She is very, very strong. And but you can't have a woman come into that kind of a situation and not be able to hold her own. A shifter needs someone that's strong who can say no and mean it. So there's that juxtaposition between female, male, but they're both strong in their own ways, which complement one another. So you really need to have a strong woman come in and be able to be herself and yet have them respect them as well. So you can't have that if you have sort of a weaker person in the mix. So they're all very strong, yes, in their own ways.
And Mist is your first heroine, and then Angela.
And then Angela.
These two women, before kind of falling into the dragon life, they are very happy with where they're at. They are complete people. It's not like they're these, looking, I'm looking for something, I'm looking to come. No, they're like, I'm happy. And so it really is a decision that they make to, and there's a lot of sacrifices that goes along with this world that they're going into.
Absolutely. They have to leave their old life behind. And they've worked very hard to become accomplished in their fields, their professional fields, and so that's extremely difficult for them. Now, I will say that they find ways to contribute to the dragonkind world, and within that pack, within that system, they use their skills there as well. But it is a decision that they have to make, and it's not an easy one, because when you've worked all your life to be successful and you have to leave everything behind and start from scratch, that takes a lot of internal strength. So it is a decision, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about your own decision to kind of go into something new, because, like I said, you are debuted this year. You have 4 books this year coming out, which I can't even imagine. You are very well educated. You have had success in your career, and then you decided, I'm going to focus my energy. I'm going to be a writer.
Yes.
What was that? What did that look like? And what did your husband say when you decided to do this?
It was very messy. There was There's no easy transition. I've known a long time that I wanted to become a writer. But the fear of failure really pushed me into other areas. Because when you're afraid to fail at something, the last thing you want to do is try. So it got to the point where I wasn't satisfied with any of my other career choices, and I knew that it was time to buckle down and do what I was meant to do, which is write stories and, you know, entertain myself and hopefully other people along the way.
Well, I think you've definitely accomplished that.
Thank
of course,
you.
we've got your first book was Fury of Fire, then Fury of Ice. Now, Fury of Seduction later this year.
Yes.
I have not gotten any inside scoop so far, so I have to ask you, what can we expect?
Oh, you know, I've really kept that information close because the hero from Fury of Ice, or Seduction, is actually revealed in Fury of Ice. And until we see him in Fury of Ice, we really don't even know that he's dragonkind. So the next book is about Mac, the ex-homicide detective, Angela's partner, and he discovers that he is a dragonkind male and that his magic has been dormant. And when he is triggered, he experiences his first shift, which is not at all pleasant. But
no, I can't imagine being,
yes, he gets through it. So the third book is actually Mac's story and his transition into the pack, and he's learning how to control his magic and his strength, and all of the guys helping him along the way to do that. So
that is so exciting. I love the idea, instead of the heroines being introduced to the world, we have our hero that gets this for the first time.
Yes, because he is as shocked as the heroines are, really, to come into this world, because he's knows nothing about it. It feels very right to him because he's been different all his life and he doesn't know why. But it is absolutely, he is a tremendous character to write because he is so much fun. He has such sort of a sarcastic edge to his personality. And he's learning everything. And so through him, I am learning new things about dragonkind, which is very fun.
What is one thing for this book, this upcoming book, Seduction, that you found that you were kind of surprised you weren't expecting to include it in that world, but then all of a sudden it felt right for where the evolution of this series?
This series? I have to say that I wasn't expecting to introduce the political climate, the Arch Guard, as quickly, but I have a new character being introduced in Fury of Seduction, who is a member of the Arch Guard, and he is a really interesting sort of nasty kind of guy.
So I'm going to take it from this that we're definitely going to be seeing more. Like, we definitely have much more to explore.
Yes, and you will in the third book you actually learn a little bit more about the world outside of the Nightfury pack, and the Nightfury pack is the good guys. So the war is being fought over Seattle, but there are other pockets of dragonkind all over the world, and we're going to see some of that in Fury of Seduction.
Yes, and you also have gone all over the world. We're here in New York City for BEA.
Yes, it's very exciting.
This is the first on-camera interview. I'm so happy that I'm the first one that gets to talk to you about this.
It's great.
But you had a couple of firsts. BEA for the first time. You're having autographings where your fans are coming up to you. What is that like to be new to it and then all of a sudden be thrown into this world where it is kind of an alternate world a little bit. You're now the famous one and people are running up to you and...
Well, the famous one, okay. Let's not get carried away, but it is a little surreal because when I was where I met you at the RT convention, people knew who I was already, and I was very surprised by that. So it's a little shocking, but it's really a lot of fun too, because as a writer, any writer will tell you, it's a solitary profession. You spend a lot of time in your own little world, in your own bubble. And so when you emerge from that and see people responding to what you've worked really hard on, it's incredibly rewarding and it's humbling and it's exciting. So, and I love to meet new people. So it's really fun to have those interactions.
Well, we love to talk to you. At least I know that I do.
Thank
you so much for being here today. I'm so excited about this series, and I know there are just so many readers out there looking for a great new series, especially with some unusual characters, some unusual paranormal creatures, that definitely you have to go out. There is Fury of Fire, Fury of Ice. Both are out now, and then later this year, we're going to be looking for Fury of Seduction.
That's exactly right, and thank you so much for having me. It's been a thrill.